I don't know what happened. Did he quit?
And the inspector, you can see how incredulous everyone is in the crowd that Tszyu does not answer the bell for the 8th round.
The fight was finally starting to get good. Well, no, get me wrong. No, it was already good. All right, we got to back up. We got to back up. Tszyu, we don't know. Now, I'm here live real time. We don't know if the corner stopped the fight. We're going to get a replay. We don't know if Tszyu didn't want to continue. We don't know if the doctor stopped the fight as it stands right now as I'm watching this video. Watching this fight, doing this video, 10:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, July the 19th, 2025. I want to listen in on
Tszyu's all about, and this is so different from what
and I'm sorry, obviously I can't show it.
And we'll take a look at what happened in the corner here.
Corner.
I do not want to continue. This is the reaction from Fundora's corner.
Tszyu, and he was doing really well in that fight. Well, the last couple of rounds before it ended. I don't know if we were going into round 7 or if we were going into round 6. And he's still on the stool.
Win against Joey Spencer to get that confidence back when it was all over against.
He's still on the stool. Okay, he finally stood up, hugging his team.
Answer from Tszyu is, I do not want to continue. The official time with Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 7. A referee in charge, Harvey Dock, stops the contest upon suggestion of the corner. He is the winner by way of a technical knockout. He is still the WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the world, the towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora.
An impressive victory. He dug deep early. He took the fight to Tszyu. He dropped him. He cut him. And yet, Tszyu was in the fight until he no longer was. What an impressive performance from Sebastian, the towering Inferno Fundora tonight. Jim Graves with the interview.
All right, thank you very much, Bernardo. Tim, let's start with you. Seemingly having perhaps your best round. And Harvey Dock tells me he came over and asked you if you wanted to continue, and you said what?
He's one tough motherfucker. And I tried to give it everything, but I just couldn't do it. And victory belongs to Sebastian Fundora, the best 154-pounder on the planet right now.
The cut was taken care of this time in the first round. Did the eye bother you? Did that have anything to do with this stoppage?
No. He was just a better man. You know, he's a better man. He's very hard to land. He's tall as fuck. And sometimes I feel like I was shadowboxing with myself, but it is what it is. Congratulations to Fundora and his team. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Tim. We're glad you're okay. Appreciate your time. Sebastian, how about your performance?
This guy's a fucking monster.
It was good. The first knockdown in the round 1, my dad was telling me all week, I think we get him out. And I think his prediction came true.
You changed your strategy a bit this time, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I felt like I'm obviously the bigger guy. So, everybody's calling me a bully in the ring. You know what? Let's start bullying these guys.
Why did you decide to use it this time? What triggered in your head that you can be that guy, that fighter, and use that height and power to your advantage instead of mixing it up?
You know what? I woke up this morning and I said to myself, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, oh, wow, I have reach. So that's kind of like how it happened. We've been working on aggression our whole professional career. Now we're just adding the length of our arms. I'm not growing no more. If anything, I'm going to grow a little heavier, but But right now, my height is at a stable size, and now
Not growing anymore.
I don't think I'm growing anymore. I'm not drinking any more milk, so. But you know, I'm very grateful for everybody that came out, and now we got one more fight with Pacquiao coming up.
Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Pacquiao's up next. You know, we haven't seen Pacquiao in a couple years, and I'm excited to see him. What do you guys think?
I want to ask you about the first round knockdown. That set the pace for this fight, and were you surprised that you did that in the first round?
I was not. I was not. You know, the first time we fought, you know, I came off a loss, so maybe my mentality wasn't there at the time. We still got the win, but definitely coming into this fight, I was a champion. I've been there with him already, and we had to prove that we were better.
So I got to ask you this. You're going to school at Harvard. Why are you getting your head beaten in and taking shots in your head when you're going to Harvard?
Because I want to see if I can graduate with a broken brain.
Congratulations on everything.
No, don't say that.
Thank you so much.
All right, Bernardo, over to you.
Excellent
listen.
interviews with Jim Gray about as honest.
So listen. I never thought I'd see the day. By the way, look at the punch stats. I never thought I'd see the day where Tszyu would quit. 152 out of 596 for Fundora, 72 out of 204. And years ago, let me see, when did I come in? My first Fundora fight was around here somewhere. I don't remember which one. But he had a very bad issue in smothering his punches. For him to be 6'6" nearly, you know, he would fight on the inside trying to throwing these looping hooks and uppercuts. You know, that's how he lost to Jamonte Clark. He got dropped early. I forgot what other fight he got dropped in, somewhere in between here, or buzzed. Went to war with Erickson Lubin, even though he broke his face. And this is the first fight where I really thought, I was like, okay, Fundora, he can really, really be something if he fights tall. And he finally corrected that issue. The first Tszyu fight, remember, he was trying to exchange with Tszyu. He was getting the worst of it. And then after that cut, he adjusted and boxed Tszyu. He boxed him. Just pretty much beat Tszyu off of just basic jab left hand. But now he's done that for 3 fights, and his punch accuracy and his placement has gotten significantly better. So with that being said, I never thought I would say this, but let's see how Terrence Crawford looks against Canelo, because Terrence Crawford says he wants to he'll go back down to 154. And remember, he still has 2 belts there, the WBO interim and the full WBA championship. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Sebastian Fundora, in my opinion, from what I've been seeing, you know, I don't know if I've seen enough from Vergil Ortiz yet, especially with that Sergey Bachuk taste still in my mouth. I don't know. We haven't seen enough of Bakr and Murtazali yet, but he's supposed to be coming back soon. Hopefully, it's looking like it's going to be Erickson Lubin. So remember, even though he beat Tszyu, still a question mark around him. Tszyu has lost 3 of his last 4, by the way. But I want to go out. I want to go out there and say, hey, man, Fundora give Crawford some problems. Fundora give Vergil Ortiz some problems. The 6'6", 154-pounder with the jab, the crisp punching, the left hand, don't get tired. And the power's there now. I'm seeing what my colleague Big J is saying, because he's going to come on, and I'm sure he's got a lot to say. But I'm shocked. I never thought I'd see Tszyu quit in his corner. 25-3 with 18 KOs. And here's the thing, he was landing some significant bombs. Let me go to my profile page. I have a highlight here where he was starting to connect. But I guess the punches just caught up to him. You know, he was landing some bombs, and he was getting better as the fight goes on. But see, my concern was, it was like, okay, in order for him to be able to give these type of shots, he was going to have to eat something, and it looks like he didn't like the meal. It looks like he didn't like the meal. There was at one point. Oh, here is Keith Thurman. What does he have to say?
To do a little better, right? But Fundora ultimately was just a monster this second come around. The first time that they fought each other, it was a short replacement fight due to my injury. Now they fully prepared for each other. Fundora was coming off of a loss, like he said, and so now he's coming in with more confidence. He wanted to make the statement, and he did exactly what he wanted to do tonight.
He said, as a champion, you grow maturity, and he showed.
Dag. Waiting for my colleague Big J to call in. As I said, like I'm in shock.
Tszyu, about that, he was preaching.
So do you think that it's over for Tszyu, that maybe, you know, and I'm talking about at top level, can he mentally recover from that? You know, he took 2 brutal beatings, not just from Fundora, but from Bakram Murtazaliev as well. And how do you rebuild up from here, or do you move up to 160? Let me go back to see what people are saying again. I'm sorry. I'm in shock. Is that a crime? Now, I knew that Fundora had a good chance to win and probably was going to win, because if he fought the way he fought tonight, but I didn't know that he was going to bust Tszyu up like that. And now the question is, will Tszyu ever be the same? Will Tszyu ever be the same? And you got to think that at one point in time, it looked like that Tim, if he would have went out there, it looks like it was starting to sway. Don't get me wrong, he was taking a lot of damage, especially at the end of that very last round. He took a lot of damage. I wish I had the clip, but go look at the end of the round. Hold up, let me see something real quick. It was the 6th going into the 7th, right? Well, anyway, or the 7th. Well, anyway, the very last round he was in the ring, the very last 30 seconds, he was taking a beating, the worst beating of the fight. He was in the corner. But before that, you know, like, put it this way, he had Sebastian Fundora's attention, and I'm guessing he didn't want to get knocked out. But then quit. I just never would have thought I would see it. Let's get my colleague Big J on the phone. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy. All right, we got Big J on the line. As we were just talking about, I'm still in shock that Tszyu's corner team didn't stop the fight. The doctors didn't stop the fight. The referee didn't stop the fight. Tszyu said no mas. He quit. Your thoughts?
Oh, he's done. And everyone's going to come after him, and so they fucking should. Because the one thing Australians don't like is a quitter. Tszyu will go down as a quitter, and everyone is going to come after him, and he'll never live this down, and nor fucking should he. What have I been saying this entire time? He was never as good as everyone fucking thought he was. So... Well, it's come true. It's here now. It's more official. It's official. It's official. I've been saying this for years. He's just another second-rate, second-gen fighter living off his daddy's reputation. And he'll be nothing more than that. No more, no fucking... So... Yeah, I'm going to sink the boots to him because that was flat out disgusting and embarrassing. Yeah, you quit. What? He didn't quit in the first fight, Fundora, which was 10 times worse. He couldn't see. Yeah. Bleeding like a sieve, Alan. And then you quit like this, all because you get a couple of punches. Well, Tszyu's he's lost his will to fight. He's lost his. That's it. He's lost the will to fight. His soul's been taken. So, and Fundora sort of took it, but certainly Murtazaliev knocked it off when he fought Murtazaliev. That's when it was pretty much all over. So he'll never get another shot at 154. If he moves to middleweight, yeah, does he have it in him anymore? I don't know. I just, the last time I've seen a fighter quit like that was Daniel Gill versus Miguel Cotto, and their fight for the WBC middleweight title, and I think Gill quit like flat out quit in the 4th round. But Gill was done. He was not at his peak. He was not at his best. Tim Tsz유's still in his prime. He's 830. So, but you know, once a fighter loses his will, his spirit, his will, he's done.
Yeah.
So, can Tim recover from this? Has to be proven, but everyone's going to come after him. And, well, so they bloody should to an extent. But remember, those people on social media, calm the fuck down. You weren't the one in the ring, copping the punches. So, in Tim's defense, no one was in the ring bar Tim, but...
I mean, I just always... I viewed Tim as the type of fighter that would go out on the shield. You
exactly.
know, I never viewed him to be a guy that would be on his stool, in his corner. I'm not going out there anymore.
Yeah, I think Tim would be one of those fighters that would like go out on his shield rather than quit. But once again, you went in the ring, I wasn't in the ring, Tim was in the ring, but it's such a shocking turn of events to see him go from what happened in the first fight where he never gave up, the Pacman fight where he didn't give up, his brother had to throw the towel in for him, to flat out quitting in the round where the fight was turning in his favour. He was landing good shots with Fundora. So it's like that switch can just flicker off in a second. Once that switch is off, it's very hard to turn it back on. So I think he's lost his will to keep going. I don't think, well, I'll tell you no limit. They're up shit creek now. The golden goose is cooked. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen now with them, because they'll be thinking, oh God, not again. Yeah, this is horrible for Australian boxing, because everyone was banking on Tim that Tim would go out there and win in the 6th or 7th round, not Fundora, certainly not by knockout. So
well, the shots that he was landing, the looping hooks and the straight and even the body shot, like the fight was turning. It was starting to turn. However, it has to be acknowledged that even like the fight was starting to turn, but he had to take shots. You know, he had to take shots to be able to get in on the inside.
It seems like Tim doesn't want to get beat up anymore. But having said that, he's married now. No, he doesn't have a child. Nikita had a child. But yeah, once circumstances change outside the ring, circumstances change inside the ring. Yeah. So he's got a lot running through his head. But I'm like, bloody hell, how shocking and embarrassing. And Tim is not going to live this down for a long time, because people aren't going to let him forget. As I said, Australians don't like quitters. We don't mind people going out on their shield, but what we don't like is people that flat out quit. And everyone is going to turn on him. You watch if they're not already sinking the boots into him, they'll be sinking the boots into him very fucking quick. So
I think that you know, this is the time where he needs to take a long layoff, you know, maybe a year, and figure out if he wants to do this anymore. Because, you know, as we talked about, those are the type of beatings. And then, you know, the fact that he quit, and if he can handle the social media pressure, those are the type of, you know, beatings and fights that can mentally damage a fighter, where they don't want to even go back out there anymore.
Well, I mean, social media, who gives a flying fuck what they say?
No, but you know, some, yeah, but you know, you'd be surprised. Some fighters, some athletes, you know, they let that stuff get to them.
I mean, I don't think Tim would be the type of person to let social media get to him.
Well, we didn't think he would be the type of person to quit.
Yeah, that's true. But my advice would be, mate, don't listen to social media. Who gives a fuck? 99.9% of them never stepped in a boxing ring anyway, so who gives a rat's ass what they think? Yeah. So it gives a shit about that. But there will be a lot of ex-boxers that will come after him that probably say that they were disappointed in him.
Big Zarafa was going to say some shit.
I was thinking more Jeff Fennick, because I shudder to think what he's going to say. But yeah, Zarafa will say into him. But other opponents are going to come after him. Well, I mean, if someone's, it really shows someone's contact of their character to kick a bloke while he's down. But you know, I mean, it's a bit different because he quit. So yeah, I mean. Is he open to criticism? Absolutely. He is open to criticism. I mean, he quit. He was, that last round, the fight was starting to turn. He quits. It's like, Where'd that come from? It's the most shocking thing I've seen.
Yeah. Because I thought maybe it was a doctor, stoppage to where they looked at him and, from the flurry that he took at the end of the round, they were like, all right, you know what? We got to stop this. But when I heard, when they showed the replay, it was him.
Exactly. I thought the ref was close to stop. I thought he got saved. He was saved by the bell in that last round, even though he was going well. Because at the last 30 seconds, Fundora was just laying into him. I thought the ref was going to stop it. But it's one of the most shocking things I've seen in Australian boxing for quite a long time. Probably since Garth Wood knocked out Mundine. Fuck, how long ago was that? 15 years ago. So this is going to be talked about for a very long time, and in a negative way. This is going to be a massive negative for Australian boxing, because Tim Tszyu was supposed to be the golden goose, and now our golden goose is cooked, and everyone's like, well, now what? Because who's going to take up the mantle?
How about that? Him and Cambosos.
Exactly. Him and Cambosos are done. And as I said, the biggest victory that Australian boxing has had in the last couple of weeks was made by bloody Kiwi. Yeah. And that's been swept under the rug. So, because people would rather see two 40-year-old footy players slap each other for 8 rounds. So. Yeah.
All right. Main event is up next. Closing thoughts. We're definitely going to be talking about this again next week. But closing thoughts?
Shocking. Don't know. I'm lost for words, and it takes a lot for me to be fucking lost for words.
Same thing I was saying at the very beginning of the video.
You don't know how to react because you've got about 15 different emotions running through your head. So I know. Let's see this fester, because I think a social media blaze is gonna.
Yeah. We're going to follow up on this topic in a few days once we, it finally settles in, and then we'll be able to really dive deep into what the hell happened and what's possibly next, and hopefully we'll get some news from the team on what Tim plans to do next. But my gut's telling me there's a long layoff on the way, and I think that's the way it should go to figure out what he's going to do. All right, with that being said, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy and Big J at Old Mate Big J. See you guys later.